there, I've got a diagonal channel card done with the new lace butterfly. Isn't that pretty? So we'll show you what we'll be using. We have a floral element on the card that have been made with the Sweet William die out of our finishing touches. Here is the lace butterfly. It's got a beautiful edge on it. It looks very much like it was done with a pergamano tulle. Next is the Whimsical leaves. We'll use those as accents. I'm just going to be using the center oval here from the Rose Oval die set, as well as the center out of the Mauritius. I'm going to create a tag with that. And we're going to do a bit of embossing with the A4 embossing folder called Butterfly Dreams. Okay, so we're going to start there. Now what I've done is I've already gone ahead and cut my channel. So I've taken a piece of white card, and it was, let's give you a quick measurement, 6 1/4 across the bottom, and then the top piece here is just a hair over 8 inches, and then cut the center section out. I've used a little bit of iris card. So I'm going to leave the top plain. We'll put our tag there, but we are going to do a bit of embossing on the bottom section here, just to give some really nice texture to the bottom of the card. So I'm going to put it inside of my, there we go, make sure which direction I had it going there, my Butterfly Dreams. Put that onto our base and give it a quick run through the platinum machine. There we go. So you can see you've got a really nice butterfly pattern coming out the bottom. Beautiful embossing on this. So I'm going to add that to the bottom of the card here, and I've just built up a bit of mounting foam. There we go. Pop that on. Let me just try and get it as centered and straight as I can here. That looks good. So we've got a nice channel there already built up for our butterflies. Now, because there's a lot of detail in these, I went ahead and cut them ahead of time, took all the little bits out, and they've been cut out of vellum. So I thought it would be fun to do 3 of them with 2 butterflies each to give it a little bit of movement, and I've added some pearls down the center. So what we want to do is take our glue, and I'm going to use just Cosmic Shimmer glue, and I'm going to just pop a little bit down here. And I find one of the things that works with the vellum is if you just put a little bit on there and move it around with your finger, it will dry perfectly clear and you won't see it through the vellum. So I'm going to just try and catch the bottom here on this one, just a little bit there, and I'm going to add a little bit under here. Just move it around, hold it into place, and we'll get that bottom butterfly on there. Give it a second. Same thing, and we could even put a little bit on the ends of the wings and whatnot to start with. See where it's going to sit. You can add a little bit more into place. Just give it a move it around a little bit, catch some of that vellum. Let's do that. Give it a second to set up. It's quite a bit of just holding on to this to make sure it's nice and glued down into place. There we go. There we go. Put a little bit more on here. Just catch the edges. Just move it around so it's not too thick. We can pop that on the top there. Hold that into place. So it looks like you've got 3 butterflies just coming up the center of your channel. There we go, right about there. The top wings can stay free, so you have a lot of movement there. And you could even go back in once you've got them into place and just make sure you've got enough glue. This one could use a tiny bit under this back part of the wing. Pop that down. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is create this tag up here. Now I've just cut the oval, and I've doubled this card up before I cut it just to give it some strength. And I'm going to bring in the center of the Mauritius die here. Pop this down, get my cutting plates. There we go. Put that down, and then we will tape this one into place just so it's nice and even all the way around it. That's looking pretty good. And one more piece of tape to hold it. Give this one a quick cut. It's kind of a different shape. Rather than doing an oval with an oval, having another die just makes it a little more interesting sometimes. Pop that out. Okay. Take all of our tape off, and then we can put that back. So now I've got a frame for my sentiment, but on my sentiment I've just stamped it in black, fluttering by with best wishes. I'm going to use some of the Color Cloud, a little bit of the Chic Viola, bring in my smoothie, and I'm just going to do a little bit of inking coming from the edge here. Just bring in a little bit towards the sentiment and around it. Add a little bit of color. There we go. Keeping that center mostly white. Bring that in. Move it around. Now the Color Cloud ink is designed to blend really nicely, so it stays wet quite a long time. So what I recommend doing is when you get it all inked up, bring in your heat tool, give it a nice dry. There we go, that should do it. And you can also, stay there, you can also just run over it with an anti-static pad, and that'll take some of the moisture out. We're going to cover it with a sticky adhesive sheet, and that won't stick if that's wet. So pop the backing off of this. Put that right over the top of that, and peel the backing up on the other side. Get that started. There we go. It's a little bit bigger than my card there. Going to put this down, just lining it up, centering it. Pop that into place. Okay, so I've got that nice and centered. Let me just get underneath it. I'm going to bring in a piece of copy paper. There we go. And a little bit of diamond snow right over the top of that. Don't need very much. We're only going to do the center part. There we go. Tiny bit more right there. There we go. Pop that over. Oops. There we go. And now I'm going to trim around the outside edge of this, taking off the extra. Just sort of keeping my scissors underneath that edge. And there we go, almost got it. And a little bit on the edge there. You can always bring in an adhesive remover to take off some of that. There we go. Put some mounting foam on the back of that, and we'll bring over our card. Pop that into place up in that top corner. Really nice. And down here we're going to decorate with some flowers. So what I've done is I've cut several of the Sweet Williams, and I've just scrunched them with water. You've seen me do this lots and lots of times. And once they're done and dry, I've just gone over the top of them with the Color Cloud to bring in that same sort of shade. Very, very easy to do. I'm going to put these down. I've got a very nice little bow here tied with some white, the thin white satin ribbon. I'm going to even put in just a tiny bit of tulle, kind of as a little accent as well below that. We'll seat our flowers on there, maybe the larger one in the middle. And then I've done 3 different sizes, so we're just going to sort of sit them around there. Glue dots. You can add some glue on to make them hold really nice if you want afterwards. Pop that in, and we're going to accent with some of the leaves. Now I've cut several of these. So what I like to do is maybe cut down some of the longer ones, and we can use them with some glue coming from behind, like that. can use they have a little bit of a curve to them. You have your right and left facing, so I can pop that on that direction. We'll take one of the ones that goes this way, add it down here. Your floral arrangements are just a matter of what you like in your cards, so you can play with it and just get it exactly how you like it. And we'll put just one more coming out to the center there. Just let that glue set up a second. And I think there you have it. So you've got your butterflies coming up your channel, and I just think that's so pretty. They've got such a nice lacy look when you cut them out of vellum. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and be sure to check on our YouTube channel for more videos. We load them all the time for you.